Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Friday, September 29th, 2017. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. This is the last business day of the third quarter. Well, catastrophe loss estimates from Hurricane Maria are differing widely. Earlier this week, AIR, the big cat modeling firm, came out with a loss estimate in the range of 40 billion to 85 billion insured losses. This let out a collective gasp of breath from the insurance and reinsurance industry. RMS, the even bigger risk modeling firm, came out with its numbers yesterday. They're expecting insured losses from Maria to be between 15 billion and 30 billion. Meanwhile, Karen Clark and Company came out with their loss estimates this morning of 30 billion. So there's a very wide divergence here between the AIR numbers and the Karen Clark numbers and the RMS numbers, a $50 billion divergence. In London, publicly traded Beazley shares rose 6% in early trading this morning after the firm warned that combined losses from Hurricane Harvey, Irma, and Maria could shave $150 million off of 2017 earnings. They said that the earthquakes could in fact, and the recent earthquake and the three storms could have an effect of up to $175 to $275 million. This apparently prompted a sigh of relief amongst stock purchasers because there have been fears that Beazley was going to come out with a far higher number. An analyst said, we expect the market to breathe a sigh of relief with this announcement from Beazley because there is enough of a buffer here in their cat budget to be able to accommodate this. Global insurer and reinsurer Chubb has put out their preliminary loss estimates for third quarter hurricanes Harvey and Irma. They did not include Maria yet. They're saying that the two are going to combine for an upper range of about $1.6 billion before taxes. They said their insured losses for Harvey are currently estimated at about $650 million pre-tax. They said the costs for Irma are expected to come in higher, with a range of $800 million to $950 million before tax. The Trump administration is taking increasing heat for the problems in Puerto Rico, which remains in a desperate condition that seemingly is worsening every day. It doesn't seem to necessarily be anybody's fault. It's just the fact that 3.5 million people are living on an island relatively far away from the U.S. mainland. And the island now has had no electricity for a week or more, and no fresh drinking water for a week. The situation there is becoming increasingly desperate. Food stores and shelters are out of supplies. Residents are lining up all night simply to purchase ice and fuel, which is in very, very short supply. The biggest problem apparently seems to be the bottleneck at the port of San Juan, which is the only major port where supplies can come in. Apparently over 1,000 containers are sitting at the port but can't be brought out. That's where the bottleneck is. Truck drivers are in short supply, and the fuel to put in the trucks to deliver the supplies coming from the containers is very scarce as well. Certain people have pointed out that the president has yet to declare Puerto Rico a disaster area. In Mumbai, 22 people at least have been killed and dozens more injured in a stampede on a bridge near a subway stop. The incident occurred earlier this morning amid rush hour and a very heavy downpour on a footbridge on Mumbai's Elphinstone station, which connects two of the city's major local lines. The stampede was apparently triggered by falling concrete that hit the bridge railing, prompting people to think that the bridge was going to collapse, and then prompting in turn significant shoving and rushing that killed at least 22 people. Prime Minister Theresa May of England is in Estonia today on a security meeting, and she's talking about how optimistic she is for the EU Brexit talks following her speech in Florence last week when she set out the principles for the exit. Meanwhile, the EU Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker said that it's only going to be a miracle that will cause the 27 EU leaders at the meeting next month to decide whether, quote, sufficient progress has been made in talks to date to focus on the UK's future relationship with the EU. Focus on the future relationship, of course, is what the British have been determined to get, because having some resolution as to what their future trade situation will be with the European bloc is critical for them to maintain their financial base. In London today, news was released that the British economy grew at its slowest rate in some 20 years. Elon Musk from Tesla made a speech at the International Aeronautical Congress in Adelaide, Australia yesterday, and he said that people will soon be able to fly from city to city within minutes. The promotional video said that the London to New York trip would take only 29 minutes. He said that his company is planning to start sending people to Mars in 2024. That's in 7 years and 2 months. His SpaceX company is going to begin building the necessary spacecraft to support the mission starting next year. He's refocusing SpaceX to work on just one type of vehicle, known as the BFR, which would do all of the firm's current work on interplanetary travel. He said, I think we figured it out. This is very important. The route for affordability for the BFR means that it's going to act as the SpaceX's Falcon 9 and Dragon capsule do now. It's going to meet all of its customers' space needs. It's also going to take people to the moon and Mars and do point-to-point travel on Earth. He said, though, some of our customers are conservative and they want to see the BFR fly several times before they're comfortable launching on it. Well, I would say that might be an understatement. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Have a good weekend. Thank you for watching. We'll see you Monday.